Morning, my name's Richard Holden. I'm a resident of the area. I've lived here 30 years. I'm a civil engineer, as you might hear from accent. I'm originally from the UK, lived and worked in South Africa since 1983. And I've worked length and breadth of the country, working in rural communities in the farthest reaches of the Northern Cape to now doing the biggest dams and pipelines in the country. And from about 20 years ago, I started cleaning my street, taking stuff, excess rubbish to the dump. And then about 4 years ago, there is a place called Stewart's Drive which connects the area which I live down into Makers Valley. And it had become an overgrown tip. There's a beautiful stone arch wall which runs alongside of the drive. You couldn't actually see it. People had dumped rubble behind it, so it was up to the top of the level of the wall. Tires had gone over the wall. I removed with the guy I work with 500 tires from there, and so the first thing, and it was becoming dangerous. It was dangerous as a major pedestrian walkway, okay, because it's the only place connecting from the top and the bottom. So over the past 4 years, myself and this other guy, we've cleaned the whole place up, and you drive up now, unless you really knew what it looked like 4 years ago, you wouldn't believe it. And then what we started doing, because I work very closely with one of the businesses down here, we started pushing into the valley. So even before Victoria Yards and Makers Valley was even on the horizon, we were doing a huge amount on trying to create areas of excellence in the village. And the way that we're working is that you try and see where somebody's doing good, and you build on that good, and you eventually start joining the dots. Victoria Yards is coming in there, and we're trying to build out from Victoria Yards. So we've already joined Victoria Yards to Stewart Drive along Falloon Street, so you're joining up. So we are now, it's almost like a reverse. If anyone looks at William Booth's poverty map of London, where he went and plotted the areas of poverty in London, because they're all hidden, we're now looking at where the good areas are, and then trying to encourage people to reach out from their immediate front verge and do maybe the street surrounding them, so we can start joining the areas up. And we work very closely with Pick It Up, who are the responsible for waste removal. They're actually very good. There's a dictum of Thomas Talfourd, which is harnessing the forces of nature for the benefit of mankind. And most engineers have forgotten that last words, for the benefit of mankind. We see it particularly here in South Africa, but you would see it in the United States as well, where all engineers drive cars. They never walk anywhere. So a city like Joburg is designed for the car, and no one gives a damn about the majority of the population who don't have cars. So you actually, as an engineer, can end up contributing to a very us and them situation if you're not careful on that, because you design for your circle. I mean, you don't get very many engineers coming from poor backgrounds, so people don't understand what poverty is. Okay, they don't understand what it's like to fetch water. They come up with solutions which they've never tried themselves. Good luck on it, and hopefully you can come up with something really interesting.